as far as his emotions are undeserved, it is also emotionally false. So there's really no valid standpoint for it to continue to be respected. He should be on the ash heap of history, and I'm sure that his works will eventually gain a bad reputation over time and be forgotten. Unless you're indoctrinated, in which case maybe you'll still watch it. But yeah, fathers are not responsible. I don't expect senators' sons to go and fight. I don't expect my neighbor's son to go and fight. I think that the middle class and the upper class and the lower class, as you define how much wealth do people have, is equally distributed as to how many people join the military. I don't need to list how many middle class and upper class career military families there are, as well as lower class career military families, but they don't stay that way. And you know what? Joining the military is a fantastic method to improve your life. It's really a humanitarian thing. That's why they do it, to make it so that you can elevate yourself. And yet, some Democrat pundits, some Democrat opinion pollsters, they like, nothing more than an op-ed writer and nothing better. It's not a journalist. They hate the idea that poor people, people who struggle, people from bad neighborhoods can lift up their lives with the United States military and find a better way of life. Fighting against nasty dictators that torture people in torture chambers and rape women for fun, because that's what Saddam Hussein would do. He doesn't just arrest political dissidents, he arrests the next hot babe that he wants off the street, because he's the king of that country and he can do what he wants. And that's a bad thing, and I'm glad that we got rid of him. But yeah, I just wanted to call that out. It's like, and I know that's one way that I know that the author of this so-called documentary he's not really trying to educate anyone, and he's not really trying to spread true facts. He's genuinely trying to spin a spider web. He's trying to make a lie. He's fibbing. He just wants to get you mad. He doesn't care if he tells you the truth in order to do it. He's not trying to give you something that's true. He's trying to get you angry so that you'll go and do something, so you'll believe what he says. He's okay with lying to you. He's lying to you in order to get you to join his side. And I know, because I don't think any rational person would ever say that fathers need to sacrifice their sons and force them to go into the military to fight and die. That's not what sons don't do that for fathers, and fathers don't do that for sons. What sons can do, though, sons can volunteer. And that's what most of these people who went and fought in Iraq, they did, or else they're drafted, and it's a random selection. So, according to physical ability, however, if you're not physically able, they don't take you. But, yeah, so that's just the quality of liberal journalism. It didn't suddenly get bad. It's always been this bad. Liberal journalism has been this bad ever since liberals had plantations and slaves, and since liberals championed Jim Crow and ran around in white hoods. And Democrats still run around in white hoods to this day. I think that the Democrats from Virginia and, all other large states in the 13 colonies, they were Democrats, and they would not allow the United States to be established with a constitution until they got a permission to keep their slaves. And they forced a compromise. It was a bad compromise. But, they're the force of dishonesty. They're the force of evil in the United States. So don't be surprised if they give you propaganda and expect you to believe it, because it's lies. So I hope that this video is engaging and educational to someone. I hope that this perspective of mine really helps someone, is a good commentary for someone, because my commentary is based on truth, it's based on fact. And basically the claims of these documentaries, which I'm sure if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I'm not going to give credence. I'm not going to give, more attention, more views to this guy. I'm not going to give him clicks. I know who he is, and if you know who he is, then you know what it's about. But what I am talking about is the ideas, and this is the set. My video cut out, so it's actually connected to a larger talk previously. But basically, you can watch that. I'm going to put these up separate because it's easier to upload that way. I'll just link them together with a commentary or a link. And I just hope that this is beneficial to you, to wake you up to make you aware of the propaganda so that you don't have to follow it anymore. So you can have your own free thinking, something that I guess liberal politicians and they call themselves journalists, don't like you to have. They don't like you to think freely. They don't like free speech unless it's approved by the party. So they're kind of like Saddam Hussein. And they actually think that the First Amendment is a problem and needs to be gotten rid of. Never forget, Adolf Hitler had very, very strict anti-hate speech laws in Germany, and that's what he used to silence all of his enemies. The way that Adolf Hitler made laws to make criticizing him illegal is Adolf Hitler in Germany before Adolf Hitler, and then Adolf Hitler actually increased the anti-hate speech laws. Adolf Hitler passed laws against hate speech so that he could blame all of his political critics of being hate speech, and he shut them down and threw them in prison. So Adolf Hitler threw all of his enemies in prison using the hate speech laws that banned hate speech in Germany. That's why we need to protect hate speech, because if you don't protect everyone, if you think that some people are too bad, too awful to protect, then eventually you stop protecting anyone. That's why we give lawyers even to criminals, because even if they're bad, we protect them so that we don't lose that protection ourselves. If we have to give protection to the least of us, otherwise that sliding slope, there's never going to be a well-defined border. It's always going to be, everyone is in danger. So if people are not free to hate something, they're not free to love something either. If you can't, if you don't have free speech to do whatever you want, then absolutely whatever you want, then you don't have free speech to do anything. And that's something that many liberal fascists, and liberals today are fascists, they are socialists, they are national socialists. Liberals are national socialists. They don't understand this. And I hope that they will gain understanding in the name of Jesus. So, God bless America, God bless you, Jesus is Lord, and God bless me.